So this video right here is going to be for, actually it's going to be for women, and it's going to be for women in a way, in a roundabout way. It's going to be, of course, the main basis is going to be foundational. I mean, it's going to be based for men, but it's going to be for the women who love these men. All right, we're talking about two things that I think are very important. People are having these conversations, and when it comes to mental health, this is going to be a video that's going to help people understand and maybe help other people understand two things. What are those two things? When it comes to work, and when it comes to money, and when it comes to relationships. One, I'm going to talk about work-life balance and how there's no such thing as a work-life balance, and I'll prove it to you. Secondly, we're going to talk about this YOLO. What is YOLO? YOLO is you only live once. Okay, so welcome to Disruptive Minds. I'm your host, Jerome A. Carter, and the A stand for always learning. So let me go straight into work-life balance. This whole work-life balance that we hear a lot about, and there's a way of going to work and coming home, being home for the kids and the wife and this, that, and the other. It's a flawed, in today's world, in 2024, it's flawed. It's highly damaged. Now, in the past, right around industrial era, when we were coming out of the farm era, going to the industrial revolution and stuff like that, you still had like a work-life balance. We now live in a technological world where it's 24-hour access, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So this whole work-life balance, it's not realistic in today's society. And when it comes to making 100,000 plus a year, 100, 150 and more, there's no such thing as a work-life balance, period. Because those companies want every drip of blood, semen, fucking sweat. They want everything out of you for $110,000, $150,000. They want it, and they're gonna get it. Even talk to some people who are making like $17, maybe $17 up to $20 an hour, working at fast food or service, mainly the service industries. They want it. They want it all. Get the IV drip and just they're pulling it all out of you. The more you make it $20 an hour, they want it all. Work-life balance, to and from work, waking up. We're not talking about just the 8 to 5. Okay? Because now we start talking about work-life balance. We're talking about $20 an hour. It's gonna be more like 7 to 6. See what I'm saying? That's 11 hours, almost 12. You start talking about more money, you start talking about more, the work-life balance starts to really fall off. You're not home, you're not home, you're not home. Are you enjoying this $110,000 I'm making a year? Yeah, I'm not going to be home. Now, I can be home, but I'm going to start taking a $16 an hour job, and it's going to drop from $110,000 down to $60,000. Are you going to be okay with that? And that's what men, I think, have this misconception that they can make a lot of money and be home at the same time. It doesn't work. There is no such thing as a work-life balance. Oh, it's a summertime. We should be out with the kids and blah, 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 blah. That's great. That sounds great for people who are making executive decisions, VPs, C-suite, executive decisions. That's okay. I can be home. The managers and below, you can't be home. There is no work-life balance. Stop saying this work-life. There's a way we can do it. There's a way. See, that's that hope that people have, what I call the PhD syndrome. I call it the PhD syndrome, which is pray, hope, and dream syndrome. That's what most people have. Most people have just pray, hope, and dream. Pray, hope, and dream. Pray, hope, and dream. And this is how it's supposed to work. When I sit there and talk to my boys about this, which is very few, like 1 or 2. And I tell them, this is what you have to do right now, especially if you are a black man. Because your ice has to be 3 times as colder than a white. Not even 2 times. They're not even 2 times no more. 3 times as colder. Because you know, like I know as a man, they will hire somebody above you who is as incompetent as a mother. And you know that. As a black man, you know they will hire incompetence above you because And you end up training them or something like that. And Living Color did something years ago about that when they had the black guy training the new guy that came in, and the other guy was saying, hey man, in a month or two, he'll be your manager. It still goes on to this day. But you want a work-life balance. You're never home. The kids miss you and blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, I got to keep this boat afloat. I'm here just left and right down I'm just rowing. You're like, you're rowing so much. I can't believe it. Okay, let me stop rowing for a week. Be home, chilling, kids, money drop down. You're like, hey, we can't do that. We ain't got the money. And next you know, now she's barking at you. Where the money at? Well, I stayed home for a week. You want me to be home, work-life balance. Now you can't go over here and do this and lashes and the hair and hanging out with the girls and mimosas and now the kids can't go to, the kids can't go to all these activities that you want to send them to, and I just cut you some money here and cash app you here and pay for this. Nah, you wanted me to be home. I'm home more. So now I'm doing this. I'm balancing the work-life balance. You're like, no, go back to work, because you want it like this. Especially you're in a relationship. That's why I tell men, these relationships are going to destroy you. And let's go into YOLO. You only live once. Men, especially men, I promise you, as an almost 50-year-old man, you need to be single as soon as freaking possible. Period. You need to get your, what I call peace of mind. Peace of mind is here and Pam is here. And once these two are locked in, you're good. But you can't have peace of mind. It's like trying to clean a tub while you're in it. It's like trying to wash a car while you're sitting in it. Right? It's like trying to clean a toilet while you're using it. You can't do those two things at the same time. You're hurting yourself. All right? So you have to be by yourself, man. You have to figure out this peace of mind, because only peace of mind is going to get you Pam. Once these two are locked in, it's a wrap. And that's why it's easy to start making better decisions. So you're making bad decisions because you don't have peace of mind. You may think you have peace of mind, you don't. Once you have peace of mind and you have Pam locked in, you make much better decisions. So this whole YOLO, and you only live once, you can do this and do that. If you're not 40 and 45 years old and you still with this YOLO, you only live once, what happens if you live to 90 years old? What happens if you live to be 90? How old are you right now? What happens if you live to be 90? Technology is changing like this, right? So the rich people, they're getting the high level vitamins, they're getting the stem cells, they're getting the better nutrition, they're getting this stuff, and eventually it trickles down, just like airbags. They had airbags in expensive cars first. And I'm snapping because I'm letting you know that time just keeps moving, right? So you have this, you only live once, but now you're 50. Technology has increased. People are now living until they're 90. That's a whole other lifetime, but you destroyed yourself so much in your 20s and 30s that now you having migraines you can't control. Now you got blood pressure issues you can't control. Now you have a foot that hurts and you're taking you're getting all type of medications at 40. 50, you don't have 50 years of this. Well, I'll start, doing more smoothies, and the damage is already done. This goes back to foundations. I love talking about foundations. But did Aristotle say, give me a child to the age of 7, I'll show you the man. If your foundation is already screwed, what makes you think by changing out the DFWs, what I call DFWs, which is doors, floors, and windows, what makes you think that changing them out is going to change the foundation? Your foundation is broken. And there's a lot more work to get to a foundation than it is to replace door, floors, or windows. But you don't have conversations like this with your boys. What if we happen to live longer than what we think? So you think you're going to live to a certain age. It's like, I need to party now and get it all in. Okay, that's cool at 35. 40. 45. You didn't win everywhere. You didn't see a lot of stuff. Now what? What were you doing to get you to 60, 70, 80, 90? See what I'm saying? It starts to get real interesting then, because you don't have these conversations. You're not having these conversations with people. You're not having the real conversations that I want to have with you. These are like real life conversations. That's why I talk about reps all the time. Religion, environment, people, and social media. I always talk about getting your foundation fixed. Do it now so later on you can make a lot better decisions. You're making decisions now on your emotions because you were probably an RBM. What is an RBM? Raised by mom. Since you're an RBM, you were raised by your mother. You're going to be highly irrational, highly illogical, and highly emotional. But that's not true. I make better decisions. That's not true, Jerome. And good luck with all that. Because society's going to push it out of you. Good luck with all that. It's like when I'm listening to my boy Jake Zwig talk about Navy SEAL training, talk about BUDS, Basic Underwater Demolition School. It's going to push you to a limit where your weaknesses are going to show quick. And if you're not able to push through those weaknesses, you will fall out. See, you haven't been pushed. That's why you look strong. You may be the leader of a loser group. Let me say that a little slower. You may be the leader of a loser group. So because you're better than the rest of your loser group, you think you're doing well. You're not. I promise you, you're not. Because being the leader of a loser group, it means nothing to the real world. To the real world out here, means nothing. You've never been really pushed to go how far you're able to go. You don't really even know how far you're able to go. You don't know your true potential. You do not know your true potential. If you still live where you used to live and you're talking to the same people you used to talk to for the past 5 to 10 years, you have no idea what your true potential is. Nowhere near it. How do I know? Because I know. Because I know. You got to be put in new environments with new people to see what you're able to do when that need comes. Now, if you fall back and be like, you can't make it, and you go back to your loser group, more power to you. You could be the king of your loser group. But at least you know now. At least you know now. Right? But until you've been tested, and I don't mean been tested meaning physically or mentally. I mean being tested physically and mentally at the same time. And a lot of people never know. They're never going to get. Most people are only going to go 20% of their true potential. 20% of their true potential. 20%, and that's it. That's all you're doing is 20%. 20% of 100 is nothing. The minimum you should do is 51%. The minimum you should be doing to your true potential is 51%, because 51% is 51% is a majority. That's 51. Some of y'all will never ever reach that. Whether it be physically, whether it be mentally, you'll never reach your 51%. Never, never, never reach your 51%. Most of y'all are 20% at best. And I can prove it. Do your reps, religion, environment, people, and social media. I can prove that you're the leader. If you're doing better in religion, environment, people, and social media than people around you, you feel like I'm doing better than that. You're the leader of a loser group. But once you go to a higher level, boop, things change like that. That's why I always snap. It's quick. Junior varsity to varsity to college to pros. It changes quick. Everybody can't go from high school to professional. Right? You may be the man in high school, right? Part of a loser group. You graduate high school and go to the NFL, you'll get your bell rung like that. It's instant. You realize these people are faster, smarter, moving. It's just a whole other world. but you still live in the same place you were in, your environment. You think you're doing better because your environment and the people you're around. That's why I love moving around and meeting people and doing different things. So let me go back to the work-life balance real quick. When I was in Kansas City driving trucks, I was making a lot of money. But I'm telling you, they got all that blood, sweat. They got everything out of me, man. Riding around in the cold, delivering high value items. They got a lot out of me driving trucks. I think I was making at that time, when I was in Kansas City, barbecue was good. But when I was in Kansas City, I was making almost $2,000, $2,100 a week. So my bring home was like $1,600 a week, right? You do the math on that. $2,000 a week times 4 is $8,000. $8,000. If I would have stayed there for a year, that'd have been $96,000. Not even $100,000. I'd have probably got to 100 because there was a lot of stuff they had me doing because I was reliable. I was trustworthy. I said I was going to do it, and the shit got done. I didn't get phone calls saying I didn't do this, didn't do that. If I said I had to be there, I had to be there. Rain, snow, sleet, and hails. I was delivering mail. It was intense, to say the least. I mean, I got some pictures. If I may post them or whatever, show you on YouTube or something like that, where I was out there in the snow, man. Early in the morning, 4 o'clock, starting the truck up, snow on the tires, ice on the ground. We got to keep it pushing. Why? U.S. mail, government contract. Let's keep it pushing. So yes, I was making if I would have stayed, but that shit wore me out. Driving for that length of time, I was doing a lot of hours. Let's just say that. I won't say how many hours I was doing. That work-life balance didn't exist. There was no such thing. By the time I got home, slept for 4 hours, got up and did it again. Work-life balance my ass. And that's only making 98, or what I say, 8 times 12 is 96. That's making 96,000. Now there may be truckers out there that be like, well, I can make that, and I work 2 hours a day, and I make $2 million a year. Yeah, there's always some trucker that's going to say something stupid like that. Always. There's always some guy who's going to say that. With a SpongeBob icon and no real name with 3 subscribers. There's always somebody who's going to say, I'm making all that and I come home every day to my family and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you're a unicorn. Good. Congratulations, unicorn. But for the other 98% of people, you're not going to make that money without them getting every drop of blood out of you. Blood, sweat, tears. You're getting everything. They're pushing semen, poop, and urine. When you start talking 100K, 150,000, $200,000, even if you're using your mind and you're just typing, you're going to be doing that 12 hours a day, almost 6 days a week, 70-something hours. You have no clue what it's like to make 100K a year. I have a clue. And I was like, I don't like this. Now you could say, Rome, well, if you was working a different job and blah, 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 then you could probably make that 100K and it was probably be a little easier. Anybody who's making 100K in today's America, they getting blood, sweat, and tears. Urine, semen, eggs if you're a woman. They are getting that money out of you. They're going to squeeze you and get you for that 100K, 120K, $150,000. Oh, you're going to be taxing that mind. Trust me. If you ain't a physical guy out there building houses and ditches and stuff like that, they're going to get you with the mind. They're going to be emailing you, hey, did you finish yet? Hey, are you done with this? And you're going to wake up, there's going to be 20 emails. You got to answer those and then work on your project. Trust me, it's not that simple. And most of y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that smoke. Y'all do not want that 100K, 120K smoke. Y'all are really dealing with 50,000 smoke. And that's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Y'all don't want to even deal with that smoke. Let alone 6, 7 days a week, 10 hours. There's no... Men, particularly black men, there is no such thing as work-life balance. I'm tired of people telling you that. I'm tired of females telling you that. I'm tired of you other men telling you that. We live in 2024. This is a hustling, get it environment. And this whole you only live once, and you're doing the drugs and the perk and the lean and all this other stuff, fucking up your system, making your system not function well at 25, 30, 35, and you're talking about things that old men have, and now you have those issues at 35, 40. That means you got 40 more years to live with that issue, and you probably won't live 40 more years with that issue because you probably won't have the money to get it fixed. It can probably be fixed, but there's Kaiser and Blue Cross Blue Shields not going to cover it. So unless you can come out of pocket $30,000, $10,000 for stem cells every 3 months, good luck with that. I'm putting this out there because nobody's having these conversations with these young black men. Nobody's having these conversations. It's not always necessarily about the relationships. And women, you need to have these conversations with your man, and maybe y'all need to fall back a little bit. You may live longer than what you think. That whole YOLO, what happens if you do YOLO, but you live longer than what you think you're going to live? It's like, I know people who thought they would be dead at 30. They're still alive. Here it is, 45. What happens if you think, I won't live to past 60? Now you're 65. Social Security's gone. Your back hurt. You can't move as much. You can't do the jobs that need to be done. You didn't keep up with technology. Are you even thinking about half of these things? You're probably not. Work-life balance, the kids, and work-life balance, come home, be with the wife, work-life balance. It don't work like that. You may live another 30 years. You got to put a lot more time in on the front end so the back end makes it a lot easier. It's like a rocket taking off. They do so much energy to get the rocket to take off, but once it gets to a certain level, the boosters fall off, and it broke the stratosphere or whatever. And now it don't need as much, so now it can fly up, and it's cool. But that initial energy and all that gas and energy it takes to get it from the ground level all the way and it starts rising up, that energy from here to here is probably about 70% of all the fuel that rocket's using. 70% of all the fuel is going from here to here. That's it. 70%. Once it gets to here and the boosters fall off and the rest of the flight, it's just smooth sailing. Like I said, it's easier for a car to go from 60 miles an hour to 70 miles an hour than it is for it to go 0 to 60. A lot less energy from 60 to 70 than from 0 to 60. Y'all need to be having these real life conversations with yourselves. Y'all need to be having these real life conversations with your mates. You may have to leave relationships. You may have to go to different areas. That's something else. I'll make another video about going to different areas because some of y'all are just stupid staying where y'all are for the sake of family and friends. You got to go where the opportunities is. Animals know to do it. Why don't humans? I digress. This is Disruptive Mind.